Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Brendan, and in today's video, we're going to be answering some questions that our friend Marco sent over regarding UX/UI bootcamps. Let's talk about it. So our friend Marco is trying to decide whether he wants to go to Flatiron's Access Labs UX/UI program. Access Labs is an extension of Flatiron School in Brooklyn. He got into this program. He sent me a pretty long message about his situation, and we're gonna look at what he has to say. At the end of this video, I'm gonna give my other 2 cents on anything that I may not have covered as far as who should go to these boot camps and if they're worth it. But let's take a look at Marco's situation here. So Marco said that he applied to Access Labs, which as I mentioned is an extension of Flatiron School, and he didn't have to put a deposit down. Neither did I. This may be something that had changed, but I wonder why he might have mentioned that. He's hesitant to commit to the program because of the pre-recorded content, lack of feedback that I mentioned that I had received, and the collective inexperience that my classmates had. So that's the first thing that he mentioned. Only value that he perceives is the structure of the course for learning and networking during the client phase, and he just wonders if this is ultimately worth the cost. He said he's an avid self-learner and he can adapt to whether he has to be the leader or just following somebody else. Either role works for him. He said that he has a background in theater and acting, and that kind of helps him to be makeshift in these kind of environments. He's worried that the hard and soft skills of a UX/UI designer that you need to learn are lacking in the program, and he wants to know how I'd rate quality of lectures, instructors, reading materials, those kind of things. What were my interactions with my instructors? Did they give me tangible results? He has a lot of questions. What about the cohort? Did the collective inexperience result in poor results, or was there a deep sense of collaboration, analysis, problem solving, and growth? And he ultimately wants to know, is it worth the price tag? So let's break these things down. I'm gonna try to summarize this as quickly as possible so this video doesn't drag on, but I think that there's a lot here that you guys might wanna know about as well. And like I said, I'm gonna give my last 2 cents at the end of the video. So let's first talk about his hesitance to commit because of the pre-recorded content, the lack of feedback that I received in phase 2, and the inexperience of some of my classmates, or really all of my classmates in the second phase. So I did a video, and that is my overall thoughts on Flatiron School. Marco, I think you should check that one out for sure. I would say that take everything I said with a grain of salt. I think you should still be open to the idea that this is going to work for you. I think being at Access Labs is a really good advantage for you. I think they've done a much better job in their in-person programs. So I would say don't worry too much about these things. This is something that being in person, you may have a very different experience doing. So I'm gonna leave that there, but yeah, just don't worry too much about it. Now, you did mention that you only perceive value in networking in the client phase and the structure of how you learn, and you're wondering if this is worth the cost. I personally don't know if those 2 things are worth $22,000 or however much you're gonna pay, but I will say that you will be learning a lot more than just this. So do I think that you should value it based on those 2 things? No, I think you're gonna get more, and like I said, in person is gonna be better, but those are valuable things, as you mentioned, and I think that if those are the reasons that you're going, those are your main reasons, you should be considering it, because that client phase is really important. I didn't get there, however, I've worked with my own clients and I'm doing it full time, and I can tell you that being on the job is just super valuable for you. So if you don't think you can get those clients on your own, I would say, yeah, that's super valuable. And if you don't think you can create that structure for learning, then yeah, you kind of need that bootcamp to do so. However, in my YouTube channel, I think we're going to be able to build a community that might be able to replace what you're looking for. So of course, I'm going to be doing everything that I can to make this an environment where you can learn and grow with other people as well. Now, something else he mentioned is that he has experience building websites, and I think that this is super valuable. He also mentioned that he's an avid learner, and because you're an avid learner, you're a self-teacher, it seems like, when you taught yourself how to do web development or web design, whichever you do. I think that alone tells me that you don't need a program, quite honestly, to do what you're looking to do. However, it might help you learn a lot quicker than however long it may take you to do it on your own, which is a big reason for why I wanted to attend a boot camp. I thought to myself, what if I could learn everything that I would want within 10 months versus learning it in 2 years doing it on my own? So I don't know if you think that you can do it on your own, but that's something to really think about, is how long did it take you for web development, and do you feel like you need a boot camp to push you to learn in a certain amount of time? Now, you mentioned hard and soft skills lacking in the program. This is a really tough one. I think it's so subjective. It really depends on your instructors. It also depends on what the differences are when you go to access labs. I don't know if I can give you a good answer for this one. I will say that the one that I attended was brand new. I was the second cohort. I would totally agree with you. However, they've been doing it longer in person. So maybe challenge them on that. Ask them what they think they're ultimately lacking in those departments, and see if that's something that you're going to be okay with. Now, you asked about how I'd basically rate the instructors and curriculum. I'm just going to refer you over to my other video. Check that out. I answer that really in depth there. Now, I also talked about my interactions with my instructors on that video, so make sure to check it out. As far as them giving me tangible results, I'll say that in the specific assignments, yes, it was, well, for phase one, it was very direct. I knew exactly what I needed to do to improve. He didn't give me the solution, but he made me think in a way that made me a better designer in that moment. So that was very helpful. Phase two was very different, as I've kind of touched on, but that's what I'll say is, you know, it is valuable to have those interactions with your instructors, but go check out the video. I think there's a lot that you could still be doing in those one-on-one meetings. So take that advice and maybe apply it if you're going to go to the program, and try to learn other things in those one-on-one meetings. Now, addressing the cohort as far as were there good results for everybody involved, I can't really answer that for my peers. I know that I have a good relationship with the 4 that were left, and I know that they were learning a ton. They were getting value every week. So if you're brand new, I 100% believe you're gonna get value, you're gonna see results. For me, it just wasn't that way, and that's just because I had done all of this additional work prior to going into the boot camp. So you may want to be the kind of person that's learning in the program, and then whatever you feel you're missing, do a lot of research. Whatever you feel you're missing, learn that on top of or after the program, because you may not have everything you need within that program to see the results that you expect to see after the program. As far as collaboration, phase 2, you get into collaborating. Phase 1, I touched on in the other video. Really, you don't get any chance to collaborate with others, doing any analysis, feeding off of each other. We built this app for 6 weeks. We didn't get to do any sort of like working off of each other, brainstorming and workshopping ideas. That was such an issue for me. You might not see that when you go in person. I would hope that you would actually get to work with those people. So that to me is a big red flag. I'm just gonna be very honest with you. So is it worth the price tag? Well, ask yourself this. Is $22,000, 10% of your income, or whatever amount that you're gonna pay, worth it for you to break into UX? Do you really feel like you need a program to get you into the field? I didn't. I did it anyway, but I didn't need it. And if you do feel like this program would get you to where you need to go, I would think $22,000, or like I said, whatever you're gonna pay, is gonna be worth it for you. You wanna ask yourself, is this something that I truly wanna do? Because you're gonna have to pay this money regardless of whether you get into the field or not. If you make the amount of money that's required, I think it's like $40,000. So make sure you really want to break into this field before committing into the program. We had a decent amount of people drop out in week 1, get their full money back. At least that's how it is in California. I think you get 7 days to get your money fully back. It may be different in different states. I just don't know. So make sure you want to do this. Ask yourself if you really need a program, and just do your own research and see if this is something that you need. So yeah, lasting thoughts, I'll say the people that need the bootcamp the most are the ones that are trying to break in the field now and don't have the ability to learn it on their own. Somebody who is like a single mom, single dad, or they don't have any sort of way of committing to themselves. A lot of people struggle to commit to themselves when it comes to learning. They can't stay on a schedule. I'm good at that, and not everyone is, and that's why I think I was able to spend so much time doing it on my own. You can take online courses at Udemy or Coursera, audit it at Coursera, buy it for $10 at Udemy, go to a community college, pay $100 for a course, just see if you like it. And then I would say go to a boot camp if you truly think you're gonna do this. It is a fear of mine that people would start this program not having any background and then think that this is something that they want to do, and then halfway through the program they're like, this isn't really what I want, and now they're on the hook to pay all this money. Imagine if you did that in a Coursera course where you audited it, and you may not get the same experience, you may not get to work with every single feature that they have to offer in those kind of environments, but you would probably know whether you want to do it or not. So think about that before you sign up. But if you're 100% committed, go for it, Marco. That's my last thoughts. I'm gonna let it be at that, and we'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna be dropping one on Sunday. We're gonna talk about what this channel has to offer in 2020. You guys are gonna love it. There's gonna be so much for you to learn. We're gonna be building your portfolios, building those hard and soft skills that Marco talked about. And I'm gonna take everything that I didn't get and everything that I did get at these boot camps and online courses, and I'm gonna put it in one place, hopefully for you guys to decide if this is something that you wanna do, and do it for free. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, leave comments, and looking forward to Sunday.